So, we've got the FMCLA process for certification. We talked about that. We just finished talking about the American Board of Family Medicine's continuous knowledge self-assessment tool. And that's a really neat way of just answering those questions at the convenience of your own time. And you build data over years that you can then tap into to see your performance. Again, this is a 10-year cycle when you're thinking about certification and studying. Well, let's look at what American Physician Institute has to offer as well for board review. You've gone ahead and invested of your time and resources to take this board review course. The neat thing about API, it's not just a one and done, you take the course and there you go. But there are resources on their website that you can also use to continually assess and refine your studying. So let's go through some of these. This is the homepage for American Physician Institute. And we're going to click on the home screen. You log in. Hello, Eddie. Welcome home, Eddie Needham. I like that. Not welcome to the homepage, but welcome home. So if you are really investing in this website with your time, it really becomes a home source for you to study. There are a variety of tools that we're going to go through, and I'm going to start us out just looking at, first of all, my courses. So you have invested in the FMX review course. That's what we've provided for you. And you can then click on your course, or you can view all of your courses. So this is, you click on this, and it tells you at the bottom how many multiple choice questions you've answered. Those are MCQs. How many lectures have you watched? How much CME have you accumulated from this particular course? I'm on the giving end of the course. I haven't taken the course myself, but if I'd done some of the MCQs, watched the lectures myself, it then allows you to tell your progress as you go through the course. I have clicked on the All tab. You can see that that's there. It says 83. There are 83 different modules in this course. The first ones that come up, respiratory, there are 8 lectures within that particular module. And if you click on the first one, so respiratory 1 on dyspnea and chronic cough, our colleague Bill Houston has done this talk in the past for us. You can play the webinar, you can play the audio, you can view the PDF. Those are all tools that you can use to allow you to best tailor your studying to the ways that you like to learn. Are you a video person where you need to be totally focused on the video while you're hearing the audio? Maybe you're stuck in traffic somewhere. Please, both hands on the wheel and focus on the cars around you. But if you can also listen, kind of like podcasting, you can also listen and get some of that board review course done while you're on either a trip or in another format. So these are tools that allow you to really kind of tailor your studying for what works best for you. Now, you can also go to the exam builder and question bank. So you click on the exam builder and this is what comes up. It says, welcome to exam builder. There are 2 different options. Option 1 is create a quick exam. You just test yourself. And so we're going to do that one first. So you can then select 25 questions and there you go. There's your first question. You answer the question, you can then proceed to the next question. You can skip it. You can flag for review later on. And then the second option is to create your own customized exam. And so there are a variety of ways you can select this. Do you want all the questions that are there? Do you only want your flagged questions, only incorrect questions? Do you want a flashcard? Do you want exam format? So I'm selecting an exam format. I select the cardiovascular area because I've already shared that I like cardiovascular medicine. There are 424 possible questions in the cardiovascular bank. In the middle of the screen on the right, you got the little purple rectangles, the 2 purple rectangles and the yellow rectangle where it says create exam. Just to the right of that, you can select the number of questions that you want for this particular exam. I've selected 25. So I've built a cardiovascular exam from the 424 questions. I've tailored an exam for myself that's 25 questions long. And there we go. There's the first question. The question's there at the top. There are answers that are there. You can flag that for review. So if you wanted to come back later, let's say you'd study for 3 months, and you just want to study the questions that you've clicked flag for review. All the other questions you feel confident about your answers, I know that, but flag for review allows you to study those ones that you either guessed on or you got the right answer, but you weren't quite sure you firmly know that. Once you complete your question, in the middle of a page, a little bit down, it says continue exam. You click on that. You can also rate this question. Hey, this is a great question. Hey, Eddie, this is a really lousy question. We really need to address this because this medication has been pulled from the market and we're no longer using it. That gives great feedback to those who steward the content to make sure it's still relevant to us who practice as well as to our exams. So this is hugely important. If you get distracted halfway through taking that exam, you want to make sure that you either return to the current exam or you return to Exam Builder. You can also click pause for later, but you want to be careful that you don't lose your work because you don't want to have to take these exam questions again. So make sure when you're leaving the website that you pay attention to the options that come up and select the correct option, either so that you can start right back where you were before, or if you want to go back to the beginning, you don't want to lose the work that you've done. So you can do 2 options there again on exams. You can either just do a random test and you can tell the Exam Builder how many questions you want to do, or you can use the customized option that allows you to then study a particular area. I might suggest that the closer you get to the real exam, if you're taking the one-day certification, you probably should just take the random exam populating all the questions that are there. But earlier on, if you want to study a particular area, use that customizable feature to study the areas that you don't feel quite as strong in to really help hone and focus your studying. Alrighty, let's talk about this new option, the Barracuda option. So Barracuda to me is a long, shiny fish with a lot of sharp teeth because I love to go fishing in the Florida Keys. Getting ready to go there next month here and do some fishing. We'll catch some mahi, and the Barracuda like to terrorize all the other smaller fish as well. But on the American Physician Institute's website, Barracuda is a tool that allows you to study appropriately based on the amount of time that you have. So when you click on this option, the Barracuda option, you can see across the top you've got several tabs. You can select home, peer collaboration, which is kind of cool if you want to work with some peers. The activity wall, what's going on with API, the CME Vault, the things that you have access to, Barracuda, and customer care. You click on Barracuda, this comes up, and you can see how many hours a week do you think that you have to study. When is the exam date for which you are studying, and when do you plan on starting your study? So based on those things, the Barracuda option will then tell you how many hours a week and what particular areas perhaps you should emphasize. Many of us as adult learners can kind of do this on our own, but some people like to have the structure and it says, hey, you really should be studying 5 hours a week. You get home from work, kids are in bed, as opposed to putting on the boob tube and just watching TV and, bolusing your most recent Netflix series. Hey, maybe I need to study for an hour first before I plug out and tickle my hippocampus with the most recent NCIS episode, so to speak. All right. So, in summary for this particular talk, there are several key points that we want to come through. Number one, it's important for you to know how to study for your board exam. The American Board of Family Medicine gives you the Continuous Knowledge Self-Assessment Tool. It's free. It pushes 25 questions to you once a quarter. Not only do you complete those questions and you can see the critique immediately, did I get it right or wrong? If I got it right, great. If I got it wrong, I can read the information. Oftentimes, if we get it right, we just guessed. It's always helpful to go back and read the critique to reinforce why you got it right. Not only can you do the exam once a quarter, but from the website, as I've demonstrated, you can go into your portfolio and you can see your performance for the last 3 years. You can then look at the different content areas. Which areas do I do well in? Which areas do I not do well in? And then you can focus your studying based on those content areas. Using the ABFM's website, you can then, on the content areas, you can essentially go back and review the questions over the previous 3 years in that content area. As a personal recommendation, I might suggest that going back 3 years is a healthy duration to study. Anything more than 3 years, now you start to get new information that perhaps we didn't have. So for example, in regarding heart failure, if you go back more than 3 years, the SGLT2 inhibitors were not even approved. And now dapagliflozin is approved, empagliflozin is approved. So if you were studying things from more than 3 years ago, those medication choices may not even be available. And yet, I guarantee you, if you take an exam in 2022, they're going to be on that exam. So I would not suggest going back more than 3 years. Switching gears to the American Physician Institute's option, as we've demonstrated, you can go to the previous courses that you have purchased. You can review the lectures either on video, either with the audio. You can download the PDF if you're someone who likes to go back and highlight. Those are options for you. You can generate new tests, either random tests or targeted tests based on the content area that you want to study. And you can also see the ones that I want to do a follow-up on, or things that I'm not quite so sure on. You can then build a test based on the ones that you were not sure on to see if your studying has worked and now you're sure on those questions. So those are both great tools to help you become the best family physician that you can be, both the medical knowledge for your board exam, but also applying it to your patients so that you're providing optimum care there at the bedside. So thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this has been a helpful tool in reviewing the things that will allow you to do well on your board exam.